A very warm welcome. Today we have with us Mr. Abhinav Agarwal, who is the co-founder at Crossbeats. A very warm welcome, sir. Thank you for joining at CXO TV.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me over here.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to have you at the platform. And before we dive into the conversation, we would love to hear about you, how your journey has been. If you can briefly introduce yourself, and when it comes to Crossbeat, could you share your inspiration behind founding Crossbeat and what exactly motivated you to do this venture into this consumer technology sector? If you can share some insights around it.
Definitely. Yeah. Thanks for having me over here. Right. I have almost close to 20 years of experience leading up as an engineer and I've been with the companies. In my prior life, I used to be a banker, and then I also did some big marketing work for CPG companies in the US and in India. And we started Crossbeats back in 2015, right? And it's not like one day I woke up and I said that, hey, today I want to form Crossbeats. It was something that has been building for a long time. And if you think about it, right, in the past, India has always been considered as a stepchild when it comes to consumer technology. If you remember, we had Sony Walkman that was introduced in India back in 1990 when the whole world had it in 1970. Right. So because of that, we thought that there was a big gap in the market where the international brands were not supporting the upcoming Indian consumers in terms of technology, and the big brands are only focusing on the new customers. So we felt there was a need to bring affordable technology to the Indian masses, and that's how Crossbeats started its existence in 2015, primarily as an audio player, and then we have evolved over the last 3-4 years into more of a consumer tech brand, where we have a spectrum of products ranging from audio all the way to smartwatches and fitness wearables.
All right, I think that sounds really wonderful, and I think when we talk about this electronic market, it's pretty competitive, and while venturing this Crossbeats and your journey so far, what kind of challenges did you face while innovating and developing the consumer tech products? Because again, innovation and consumer demand, you have to meet and get the bridge up crossed. So
Exactly.
come that. Yeah.
See, as a consumer tech brand, right, for us, innovation, design, and speed to market has been the main three factors that has allowed us to differentiate us from our competition, right? If you think about how Crossbeats has paid into existence, I think we are one of the only homegrown Indian brands that is pure play into wireless technologies, right? When I say wireless, if you look at our audio products, we do not have any wired products. And we were the first one in the market to introduce purely wireless earphones back in 2018. We were the first ones to introduce true wireless back in 2018 when people were still struggling with wired earphones, right? So innovation has been one of our key factors in differentiating us. And another key example is we just introduced our a smartwatch with AI-powered smartwatch. There is no other brand in the Indian market that has that smartwatch. It has Chat GPT inbuilt into it to allow seamless integration of AI into your smart wearables, right? So innovation has been the key forefront of differentiating us, and that is what our consumers have always looked forward to when they saw Crossbeats as a product and as a brand and the products we offer. And another example, one of our best-selling product was a product we launched during COVID that was innovated around work from home environment people. So basically catering to products, people who were working from home during COVID, and how we were fast in creating the product and bringing it to market was another example of how we have differentiated and provide the right resources to our consumers to choose Crossbeats as a brand.
I think the amount of initiatives that Crossbeat has been taking and the amount of innovations that you have talked about, I think it's pretty interesting and encouraging at the same time. So, and when we talk about this consumer perspective, to meet the evolving demands of the consumer is again a primary goal. So, how does Crossbeat approach the product design and development in that context?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? I mean, it's a constant feedback that is required to innovate, right? Yeah. So right now, it is not just that, hey, my product person wakes up one fine morning and says, "Ki, okay, let's make this product." No, but you could have the best product in the market, but if there is no demand and if there is no need for the product will definitely fail, right? So for us, everything starts from the
Correct.
consumer, right? So we have a very strong marketing team and we have a very strong customer what do you call feedback team that allows us to tap into the market research as to where the market is heading, right? And that allows us to give constant feedback to a product team to understand that, hey, this is the new trends, this is where the consumer demand is, this is what the consumer is facing issue with the product, and this is what the consumer needs as a technology or as an innovation in the product. And that constant feedback is what is being fed to the product team to understand that, hey, is it even feasible to do it? What is the cost implications to do it? And if we are going to do it, can we do it in a way that it provides value add to the end consumer? And then the product team gets into the development and the research and the entire nitty-gritty of how we manufacture it, how we bring it to market, and how we market. So it's an entire loop. It's not just that overnight you can come and say, hey, tomorrow I will launch the product. It's a good 6 to 9 month process. And as I said, the team is constantly in the market, understanding the needs, understanding where the consumer is going. And that is what is helping us to stay ahead of the competition.
Correct. So, as you talked about the marketing team, I think in terms of establishing Crossbeat or any other brand as a leading brand, in fact, in the consumer tech industry, marketing strategies and the distribution policies or these kind of aspect becomes very crucial to understand. So, what kind of marketing or distribution strategies has been proven effective for Crossbeat?
Yep. So, I mean, as you know, we are a D2C first brand, right? So, I mean, if you think about how the brand came into inception, right? We cater to the young Indian millennials, right? And as these people are spending 90% of their time online, so their shopping habits are also predominantly online, right? So when we started the business, our predominant strategy was to be present on the online platform. So, so that is where the most of our distribution and marketing efforts went in, where we were present in predominantly all the marketplaces, all on the e-commerce channels, and also through our website, right? So that is predominantly still most of our marketing effort because that's where the our consumer is hanging out, right? But then we also want to make sure that the consumer has a multifaceted or an omni-channel presence in terms of, hey, today I want to walk down the street and if I see a Chroma or if I see a Reliance Retail or if I see any other electronic shop, if I want to purchase something, I should be able to go and do it over there as well. So over the last couple of years, we have expanded our offline presence also to make sure the product is equally available in most of the channels. Maybe in at least in the major metro cities and tier two cities, right? Tier three is something that we are trying to develop and grow. So that is how we have been expanding our offering, right? And then we have been taking market share slowly. And I'm happy to say that we have achieved almost 30 to 40% growth year over year because of these marketing and distribution strategies that we have adopted. And then we have also played a pivotal role that we just recently signed up a brand ambassador, Mr. Surya Kumar Yadav, for our marketing efforts as well, so that the brand can resonate with the people that we're trying to reach to. So those are some of the strategies that the marketing team and our distribution team has taken.
So, in what exact ways do you perceive that the consumer technology landscape is evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, and how exactly is Crossbeat intend to adapt to those changes?
Yep. So there are a couple of things that is constantly changing in the consumer technology. Right? When I say consumer technology, it's a very vast canvas, right? So I just don't want to, summarize and say it's across the entire, but specifically to the categories we play in, right? We see a lot of innovations happening, especially on the smartwatch or this wearable segment, where there is much more data integration with machine learning, with artificial intelligence. And as I said, we introduced the chat GPT in our smartwatches. So I think the next level of innovation will happen around those areas, where you will be getting much more diagnostic and health related features fed back to your system to provide a much better holistic wellness experience for the consumer, right? Right now, the smartwatches and the fitness device are being more used as a lifestyle thing, as opposed to being more used as a fitness and a wellness thing. But over the next couple of years, as the consumer starts to realize the importance of the data, that is where I think the industry will probably shift towards. And it's being on the audio side, I think the major shift that I see is being much more connected, right? Using spatial audio technology, which Apple has on there, and making sure that the entire experience is much more personalized is where we as a brand are moving towards, right? And providing that experience to a consumer, where it is a much more of a personalized audio experience as opposed to a standard blanket overall experience for the end consumer. And so that's on the technology side. But then I also see with the government's push for made in India manufacturing. So as a brand, we are also striving to achieve those and build capabilities in house, where we are tapping into the local manufacturers, tapping into the local technology, and building a sustainable business around made in India push, and having infrastructure to do that and support the initiative that the government has taken.
Absolutely. I think when we have to talk about today's, the company structures and how they are formulating themselves, sustainability and as well as ethical practices are key focus areas in current era. So, how does the company incorporate sustainability and ethical practices into its manufacturing process?
Yeah, definitely. So, again, as a consumer electronic, we are very mindful of the e-waste that is being generated, right? So, we have partnered up with local organizations to ensure that any of these e-waste is completely recycled, and then nothing is being part of the pollution program, right? So, from a sustainability perspective, we are trying to minimize our impact on the materials that we use, from the plastic, from the chips, and how the manufacturing is being done, right? So we have a sustainability and governance team in Crossbeats who looks after where we are sourcing from, what is the practice that is going behind it, and if we have any waste that is coming, how are we recycling the waste from that perspective. And accordingly, we also have prioritized the manufacturers who are focusing, who are compliant in terms of ISO levels, in terms of what their emission practices are, and what their governance is when it comes to sustainability. And as I said, we have partnered with a lot of local organizations,
Local.
where we constantly, making sure that any products that comes back, which is not, which can't be recycled, we are disposing it off with the right channels.
Right. I think that's very important for the environment to be, to keep it harmless as well. And when
Yep.
we talk about it, like moving for ahead in terms of Crossbit's future plan and area, what kind of future plans do you have, or the expansion areas that you have considered within the consumer technology domain? And apart from that, if you could highlight some of the top tech focus areas or priorities that you look up to in the next 3 to 5 years to combine?
Definitely. So I'll handle the question in two parts, right? First on the technology
Yeah.
part, and the next on the geographical expansion part, right? So in the technological part, as I said, right, we are very keenly focused on the upcoming areas of AI and machine language, right? Especially when it comes to smart wearables and fitness products, because we absolutely feel that some of these technology can be used to help guide our consumers on sleep patterns, on their health patterns, and then provide the right kind of what do you call training to our consumers to make sure that they are developing and they are progressing correctly, right? So a lot of the focus will go around the AI side of a smart wearables, focusing mostly on, I mean, how do we integrate machine language and provide a personalized experience also on the smartwatch segment. The next couple of years, we're going to focus heavily on artificial intelligence integration in our smartwatches. And then on the audio side, as I said, much more of a personalized experience by incorporating spatial technology in our audio products and making sure that the end consumer is getting a personalized feel of the audio as opposed to a blanket thing on that side. So our team is working on that. And that is something which we would be focusing in the next couple of years and expanding on these two technologies and these two key areas. And outside that, I mean, we also have a full roadmap of expansion into other categories, ancillary categories in our product segment, right? We launched a gaming TWS this year, right? So the intent is to expand the gaming segment in terms of how the products are offering and what the market is feedback is given, and we can provide a much more product offering for the gaming consumers as well. So that's on the technology side. On the global expansion and the regional expansion, as I said, we are trying to increase our foothold in the offline presence. The next 6 to 9 months, we should be able to expand our presence in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and you should be able to purchase the Crossbeats product by walking down the street into an offline store as well. And then we are also looking to expand into the Southeast Asia and Middle East markets, where there's a big demand of our products that we are seeing, and hopefully in the next few months we'll probably expand into one of these key regions and grow the market there.
All right. I think given the current situation wherein consumers are so much tech savvy, and the amount of efforts in terms of the technological innovations that you're bringing forth in the consumer technology domain, I should be mentioning in a broader perspective. So I think that's a great initiative all around, and we really wish Crossbeat best wishes to come by. And this, we have come to the end of this wonderful conversation with you. It was really an insightful one for our CXO TV audience. We really appreciate your time out here. Thank you.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.